Going live.
Oh, live, live, live. Mhm.
All right. Namaste, yatae, and aloha.
Welcome.
Welcome, 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 welcome. Thank you for everybody that came over here for Ohana Connects. First time ever, members only plus
And
guests.
we're getting
The
started now.
intention behind it was to do it twice a month. And so for the last 3, 4 months, we've done our Ohana Connect mixers the last Thursday of every month for the last 3, 4 months. We average about 20 to 30 people on average. It's open to the public, completely free for everybody in the city and county, and it's really good. And the intention was to do it twice a month. And so the second week of every month is going to be a private members only. So when you become a member, we host it at your place or get more exposure at your place or however that looks.
Mhm.
And then the members can bring guests. And so it's a little bit more tight knit, a little bit more core, a little bit more Ohana spirit. And so, yeah, thank you for making history. Today's the first one,
Yay!
first one ever, first one ever.
Mhm.
In 2 weeks, we're going to have the big open one for the public. And 2 weeks after that, we'll have another members only. And 2 weeks after that, we're going to do a big public one. So
Okay, you're overwhelming me.
the more networking business stuff we get to do, the more fun it'll be. So,
So, welcome everyone, and let's everyone say thank you to our wonderful host, Robin.
Robin.
Um, she is kind enough to open her home that she lives in, and she's going to give us a tour of her incredibly
Amazing.
beautiful artwork after we finish with our little workshop here. And she's also going to close out our workshop with one of her special gifts, which is she
Yes.
has a beautiful form of healing singing that she does that she learned in one of her near death experiences as a child in Africa. So it is an extremely powerful and beautiful gift, and we really appreciate you sharing it with us. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you everybody for coming. I will just go ahead and pass
Yeah,
these
pass them
around.
out. I got
I'm,
some
I
pens,
just printed 20. I think I wasn't sure how many people we would have. So
or I had
go ahead,
pens.
take pens and pass along.
Oh, you already got it.
Okay,
Sweet.
so I
Yay.
thought when she joined and she said, okay, I'm joining and I want to host a member event at the house I live. It's this beautiful mansion by the resort. And I thought, I know exactly what kind of event we should have. I know exactly the theme. I said, the theme is going to be Conscious Millionaire, and we're going to have a beautiful focus on not just the money of creating a successful business, but why we even want to do that. What is our real motivation beyond just a pile of cash, right? We all want to be successful, hopefully. And we all want to be successful not just to hoard and take things from others, but also to have that Ohana spirit and to be able to pass that and be a blessing to other people in the community and create the ripple effect that we always talk about. So I created a short little slide presentation for us. So you guys pass those around and we'll work through, and I just have a couple of short exercises, and then Robin will close us out, and then we'll have the art tour. Okay, cool. All right.
One thing, I think we should go a little bit into our history. No, you're good.
Okay,
You're good.
go.
A little bit into our history. I've been to 100 networking stuff. I've been 10 years in Salt Lake City, multi millions of population, real estate investing, and business networking. Just a lot of business networking. Same thing with Araya.
Yeah, I started, well, I got my degree in media and then I moved to San Diego because when I started actually working in media, I was really appalled at the just the focus on pure money. I worked at the news desk in Reuters in DC, and everyone around me was really excited that we were going to declare war because they're all going to get booked out and the camera crews are going to get booked out and everyone's going to get really big checks. And I thought, this is really gross. I do not want to do this for my career. This is not at all my world. So I literally got up one Sunday night. I had like 3 projects due because I worked 3 jobs and went to school full time. And I said, this job that's paying me $25 an hour, which was amazing in 2002 as a not even yet graduated student, most money I ever made in any job, I said, this is not worth it. I don't want to do this. So I just got up and left. And so I graduated. I moved to California. I started a business. I found I was actually really great at running a business. My ex husband
Hmm.
did the services, I did everything else. I ran the office, I answered the calls, I went to the networking meetings. I grew that business to $250,000 a year within 4 years, and we made that consistently until we sold the business. And it was only two of us in the
It's
business,
pretty good
so
for two
we
people.
made really good money until we had a family, and then I'll spare you the
Changes life. Life
details of
changes.
divorce and whatnot. But
I did a fire inspection company in Salt Lake City. The fire extinguisher, sprinkler alarm, hydrants, suppression systems, hood cleaning, 27 employees, 10 grand a week, 50 new accounts a day. And so then the real estate investing, infinite ROI, fix and flip properties. A couple divorces later, and we have all these resources and we know what networking does. And
yep.
when we called around to see what happens in Siskiyou County, or where's the networking events, where do people gather to put these things together? And to be honest, we Mount Shasta networking, our people in Mount Shasta is very unique.
Mm.
It's not supposed to look like networking in Fort Jones, networking in Wairika, networking in Montague. They should look like all farmers, gold miners, and all that stuff. Of those networking systems.
That makes sense.
But Mount Shasta should have its own unique tribe. We have 4 or 5 different chamber of commerces, and there's a good handful that's doing really well. But the networking side was a trick, and so we just said we're going to fix affordable housing in this town with tiny houses. That's what we spearheaded about last year and still pushing. And then we noticed that we needed to fix the job market. And so the reason we created Ohana Connect is to help businesses get more advertising, marketing, and focused, especially on like social media, into the directory, into winter resilience.
Mm-hmm.
And so when business owners know that October through March is the trickiest time in Siskiyou County for your business to get more customers and more advertising, more marketing, more website design, more team members, we knew that if we could fix the jobs and in about 1 year, 2 years, 3 years from now, you guys can hire one person, we just created 10, 15 new jobs in our little circle right here.
Right.
So much of the whole county and multiple cities are waiting for some magical warehouse to show up in their city, in the county, to employ 50 new people at 70, 80,000 a year to afford the $500,000 average of Mount Shasta.
Right.
That doesn't work. Mm-hmm. And so our downsizing elders and our college grad kids that's coming up in the next 10 years, there's going to be a big, huge demographic awareness that's going to happen. And us being prepared about it 7 generations ahead of time is what we're standing for. So if we can start right now, this is our 3rd month in a row.
Yeah.
And this is our first
members only.
Members only with the kids.
Yeah.
And so that's our little background. Mm-hmm. That's what qualifies us for how to run a networking thing, because we've gone through hundreds of them.
Where we've done a lot.
So that's our credibility. Next.
Okay, perfect. All right. So we want to help support the businesses and also, again, always inspiring the Ohana neighbor family spirit, right? We can't just all be out for whatever's going to work for us. We need to be there to support each other, because that's how we're going to get through and get over this major hump. Okay. All right, cool. So welcome for our Conscious Millionaire workshop.
Open your pages now.
And so when we're talking about this, right, like we're not talking about $1 million because we all want just a big number in our bank account, right? It means a lot more than that. It's about getting resourced enough so that your actual mission can move. Okay, like we're doing this affordable housing mission. Big obviously mission. We need a lot of resources in order to make that happen for people. We can't, as much as we are so far, just created out of thin air.
Just pull it out of the air.
Right. So we know housing creates stability, right? Housing, affordable and stable housing is really the #1 predictor of success when it comes to addiction recovery or making it through some sort of trauma. Okay, if you don't have stable housing, you're always in survival mode. You're scared. You don't know what's going on. You can't make good decisions. So housing creates stability. Stability creates capacity, right? And capacity helps create purpose. So business here is really just the engine that's supporting the rest of the community. The more that we're resourced and the more that we're successful, the more that we can support the other people in our community. And our county and our area has really run without any real substantial support for its local businesses for way too long.
So, decades.
Today, we're here to help
Long
you
time.
connect your vision with the community impact that you're having. All right. So I want to talk to you guys about this fun little thing I was listening to the other day, and it fit perfectly with the concept of what we were doing. So I thought I'd share it. Um, so I don't know if anyone's familiar with Myron Golden, but I got this from one of his YouTube things that popped up. And he was talking about the bee, right? The bee's entire purpose, entire focus in its life is making honey, right? It wants to go pollinate the flowers because it needs that to create the honey. It doesn't care that it's pollinating flowers. It doesn't know or care that the pollination it's giving from going flower to flower is literally what's creating the fruit and the vegetables and all the other byproducts that come after it. Its sole focus is, I'm going to make honey. But what's amazing is that there's all these byproducts that do happen that to the bee is just incidental. But 80% of plant pollination happens as a byproduct of these bees. And our entire ecosystem thrives because the bees are doing their thing. But the bees don't even really know that they're having this whole impact. They're just doing what they do. So, much like that, you are kind of built the same way. Like, you're going to focus on your mission because it's literally what you're put on this planet to do. And the more you do that, you're going to create all these ripples that come afterwards that's going to have such an impact after you. And when we're intentional, it's a beautiful thing. So, the lie that we often hear is that entrepreneurs are bad or business people maybe are not to be trusted, right? They're negative people. They tend to do bad things to the people around them, right? They're greedy, they're out for themselves.
Love of money.
Again, I come from a media background, so I tend to apply this lens and notice things that maybe not everyone notices. But by the age of 18, the average American has seen over 10,000 people on screen, TV and movies, killed by entrepreneurs, by business people, more than any other category of profession, including career criminals, right? That's kind of crazy, don't you think? Now, before the 1970s, most of the business people that you saw in TV and movies were kind of just your average guy like Ward Cleaver. They were kind of boring. So we know the evil entrepreneur like Dr. Evil in Austin Power movies, right?
Wow.
It's an entertaining concept, right? So we know why they do it. But I would propose that maybe there's also an ulterior motive to that, is creating a system where we mistrust or don't want to be aspirational, to do our own thing and to be successful. It, I I kind of tend to think there's a lot of things that are put there on purpose. So just something to
America
think about.
was made on entrepreneurs. When everyone came over from England for the first 200 years, everybody had a business. And that was just normal. That was just an everyday thing. And then 30, 40 years ago, whatever that decade was, they switched and flipped it and just turned everyone industrial. Industrial age, machine, da 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 da,
Yeah.
equals where we're at now.
More workers. You support the big guys on top instead of doing your own thing. So no wonder ambition feels dangerous, right? Or feels bad. Like we're programmed to think that it's not good. So I would ask you, what is your honey, right? If money was completely handled and you didn't have to worry about creating more of it, what would you build? What problem would you work on? Who would you help? What is like the one thing that you keep always wanting to return back to, even if it's creating friction, even if it's difficult in your life? What's the one thing you always get pulled towards? That is usually leading you towards what your honey is. Okay, the honey is is sometimes the thing that you preface when you talk to someone by saying, all right, this is going to sound crazy, but what if, right? Like, this is going to sound crazy, but what if everyone could afford to live in a place? How crazy would that be? What if our businesses supported the home prices? That would be nuts, right? So this is your assignment on earth, right? This is, side note, I'm totally into human design. I do all kinds of stuff with that. So I really believe we have a blueprint that was given to us, and each one of us is unique and we have a purpose here. So tapping into that. So I would give you guys a few minutes of just time to look in your little thing. I believe it's part 1 and 2 in your little worksheet, and just think about that and write down a few things. We'll give you a few minutes.
All right. Couple
Do you
bullet
wanna
points.
pause while we
Yeah.
give them quiet?